Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the Booksellers. And another jump into documentaries, and this tells a story from D.W. Young, our director, of the rare book kind of culture, especially centered around New York City. And to really talk about this film, I'm going to tell a little bit about my background in terms of books. I've been an avid reader my whole entire life. I always had books. Honestly, the past, like 7 years of my life, I've sporadically really jumped back into reading. There's like a giant pile of books I need to read right over there. But growing up, and up until when I got into college, still had a twin-sized bed, so I could fit more bookshelves in my room. Film has really taken that spot in my life in terms of my biggest hobby, but it used to be reading. And I love books. I read them my whole life. And something happened in my life where it's like I unexpectedly had to move out of my home and we had to move into a much smaller place. And I got rid of almost my whole collection except for like one bookshelf full of my favorites that I kept. And that kind of hurt my passion for reading. And I'm very biased because I love reading and I'm an avid reader, but I love this documentary. Watching these people with such a passion for books. And obviously some of it's more of a collector kind of thing, but in other ways it's like people who love books, love reading. And it was very interesting. There's one particular moment talking about how people my age or younger, they're the ones on the subway still reading books, those physical books. I always love physical books. I don't have a Kindle, I don't have an Amazon Fire, I don't sit there reading ebooks. I'd rather have a physical, tangible book. Like I'm reading Perks of Being a Wallflower right now. And then obviously, like I mentioned, I have a whole bunch of other books trying to finish up the Dark Tower series. I got one left from Stephen King. And my love for science fiction and fantasy grew out of books, and then I got to see them translated on screen. And it was really cool looking at the history of this industry and unfortunately where it's come, because I enjoy going into New York City and I go to the Strand, and it was really cool they were talking about it. And I've been in the top floor of the Strand where they have these really old books, and there's some Cormac McCarthy, like $90 copies of No Country for Old Men, and I would love to have that in my library someday. I have some older books, like some original Mark Twain collections, and some older books that I'm going to have in a library someday. And this film really hit me, and I feel like obviously if you're really into documentaries and learning new things, I would always recommend check out the Booksellers, but for those who love books, and like the feel of books, and getting that story, and where books have taken us, and that perspective, and have an appreciation for it, go watch The Booksellers. It's a wonderful story, and told so well with so many different people telling about their passions, like this young woman who actually appraises books on Pawn Stars. And Fran Lebowitz, who I've seen pop up in multiple documentaries at this point, she has a really interesting perspective. She's the one who brought up that. It's like, I see it's the young people reading on the subway. And like when I take a ride into New York City, I always bring a book. I always read on the train. And I think this is a special kind of film for those who love books and are avid book readers like myself. And yeah, I took a different approach to this particular review. But for those who love books, go check out The Booksellers. It's a really interesting documentary. And especially when we're all stuck at home, you're all probably reading your books. I'm spending a lot of time watching films, and I think this is a great film for those avid readers to take a break from reading their books, to go check this out. But those are my extremely biased but heartfelt thoughts on The Booksellers, and strongly recommending checking out this documentary. I streamed this on Reading Cinema's website, so go check it out. It was worth the rental, and I really appreciated it, and I hope others take advantage and check it out too. But comment, let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.